All right, here is the new user interface for the V22, the new Vision. You can tell it's extremely different than the one previously. Much more intuitive, nicer, just really nicer feel, nicer look. The console itself swivels, which is really nice, and also tilts. So that's a really nice feature to have. You can tell down here they've changed the names of a lot of the just buttons that were there before, right? So instead of set start, there's like trace. You can get to your size. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna press each one of these so you can kind of see what it looks like. It's really much nicer. It's almost like using a mini iPad almost, right? But for an embroidery machine. So very, very nice look. Even the graphic is clearer than it had been on my mirror. So this is my first Vision. So I was fortunate enough to get the V22, and I'm told I'm the only one that has it until these start shipping in August, I believe. So I'm really excited. I'm based in Atlanta. I went to the exhibition that the Bai reps were at, and I already had a Vision on order. So I really just asked if I could change my order to get the new one. And I was told I could get the one that they had on the floor. So that was pretty awesome. Now I'll say at the price of the machine, that was just an awesome deal for me to be able to get it quickly, to be the first person to have one. So I'm going to do a ton of videos. I don't generally do a lot of videos, but I will, because I know people are interested, and you will learn just as I am learning. So I wanted to start out with a console just because it was so different. And it was a lot more intuitive, gave a lot more information that I thought was really exciting, because these are some of the things that I know in the group we have asked for. A lot of Bai users have asked for things like this. And let me tell you, the Bai reps are really, like, Bai as a company, they're listening to us. A lot of the changes that they made to both the mirror for the new M22 and the Vision V22 were based off of our input. So, all right, I talked a lot. I just wanted to give that out. I'll do a quick kind of video of what the machine looks like set up in my embroidery room, but I'm going to run through these really quickly, and then as I do more videos, I'll show you them in action, right? So I'm not actually stitching anything. I just finished threading it, and let me tell you, threading it was also different. I will do a close-up of it after this so you can see, but that's because of the new auto tensioning that's on it. I watched this thing in action at the exhibition, and it's a thing of beauty. So, all right. So right here they've got like statuses, right? So you're going to do your pattern, you're going to get your color, and then your frame. So the pattern is the same thing, right? You click on that and you'll have some options up here: input, output, text, multi-select, delete, divide, combine. And of course, because I got this as from when they were using it, it's already got a bunch of designs on it. So I haven't done anything but turn this thing on, set it up, turn it on, and thread it. Right? So just like anything else, right? Just like before, you'll do it. It's still USB. The port is going to be right on the side as usual, right here. So same thing. Close it. You can go in configuration, so pattern configuration, you can stretch it. So one of the big things that they did here was that they made it where you can do more resizing and manipulate your design on the machine versus software. So you can stretch it. It's got stitch improve. You can do copy. So if you were doing patches, it made it easier for you to do a larger, use the large frame and be able to duplicate your pattern, right? So copy X, copy Y. That's the X axis, Y axis. So if you want to copy them going horizontal or copy them going vertical. And then of course the same thing, right? You can you can do angles, which was really nice. So I'll say yes just because. So you just, it's really just like an iPad, right? It's going to do that for you. This is not going to do anything because it's got my cap driver still on. You can see it's right here. So it's not going to do anything to this pattern because the cap driver's on, and it knows it's not stitching like anything just yet. So configuration, go into color, select your colors just like you would, which is really nice. Same thing. You can add your colors if you want to right here. I don't ever do that because I change my colors so often. So even on my mirror, they're not changed. I doubt I will do that here, but the option is there for those who do. Pick your frame size, right? So it's got the all the frames that normally come with it, right? So your cap drivers here, the 60 by 60, etc., that come with it. And then of course that's the larger frame, and then your other, and then you can add a size. For those people who do add sizes, I use Mighty Hoops, and I don't add a size. I usually just select other, but see, it wants me to uninstall the cap driver before I do anything, but I normally choose other anyway on my mirror, which would be the, 3000 by 3000, whatever the largest size is, and I go from there to use my Mighty Hoops. So I'm probably not going to use any of these other than the cap ones, right, for when I do caps. And then of course trace is actually trace instead of set start, so that's really nice. And then you've got the set for the offset, your origin point and stop point. On my mirror, I think it says start point and end point, same thing. There's your trim, your I think this is your auto and your manual. Then this is your needles just to move them back and forth. This is your axis, and then settings, language, I'll leave it, but you can set your time, which is nice. I just set my time. It does use it appears to use military time, which is what I am very used to anyway. So if you can see that there, and look, that's really nice. I can tilt it, but I use that 24-hour clock, so mine is in military time, which I like a lot. It's got a statistic button, which is nice. So people always want to know, how many stitches has your machine done? How many times has the thread broken? This is really nice. I am very impressed that this is here, right? So total startup time, total stitches. So this machine is new to me, but it's already done, right? You look at that number right there. Let me zoom in. Look at that number for number of stitches. It's had 87 broken threads and total trimming times. The only thing with this, and this total startup time is probably the time that I don't know, this must be since I've had it on. I've had it on for a while, just because it's got a really nice light that I'll show you that I was using as I was threading needles. So let me tell you, if this were one of those not industrial type machines, I would be very concerned about the total stitches and it being new to me. But honestly, not concerned at all. I'm actually really excited because I know that this machine works and that it stitches the way it should, and I'm really excited about that, right? So Chris Song, y'all should know him. He dialed this machine in. He was at the exhibition as well, and it was Tony, Alan, Chris, Helen, Dora. They were amazing. They really made sure the machine was doing what it needed to do. And me watching it in action, I'm not worried about it, right? Getting it home, taking it out the box, and then, oh my gosh, what happens? So really excited about that. But this is a nice addition. A lot of people have asked for this. I know I have asked for something like this in the past. So good to have. All right. So close, and that's your statistics. You can do the test, parameters, right? And honestly, you can just click on all these things right here. So it's got all these options here, right? Which you can now change, trim, change your jump stitches. You don't have to have codes anymore to go in here and do these things. And broken, you can do that. Get your speeds, max speeds, and all that. And then, of course, it's got your frames that you can add. So those are really nice. That's in parameters. Engineer, of course, you need a password. I'm sure that's for some of even the regular things that we normally would have done. If you're having some problems and Chris or another one of the engineering team decides that you've got to go deeper into the menu, I'm not worried about that. It's got a user. So it's got Wi-Fi here, and honestly, I don't think that it's connecting to any Wi-Fi because when I asked, it was still USB. So I still have to ask some questions to the Bai team. I will admit, I was just really excited to get this, and since I had a vision on order already, probably didn't ask as many questions that I needed to. But I also didn't when I got my mirror, and I use that just fine, and I'm really comfortable with it. So I'm just going to go through. I'm going to learn. I'm just going to learn how to use the new V22 on my own and with the help of the Bai reps, because I can't get to the group because nobody else has one. So that might be a good and a bad thing right now. You may all have like 10 million questions for me. Believe me, I will try and answer them over the next, few weeks that I have the machine, that I'm able to actually start working with it and learn some things, maybe likes, dislikes. I will share them in video. It won't be as long as this one, but I do know a lot of people were asking about the updated user interface. So I just wanted to make sure that I address that tonight, because after moving this beast, I am super sore, and I doubt that I'll stitch anything tonight, but I sure will tomorrow. So you can be on the lookout for that. You can also follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and I will have them posted there as well as a few of them in this channel. So system info, system update, it doesn't have the disk. The same thing when you click these, right? It's got to have some kind of disk for you to do the upgrade. So nothing there, but this is nice now. It tells you your equipment name, the name of the Bai company, Jiangsu Baima Supplier Chain, which I think is Supply Chain Management Company is what that should be. And the only reason I know that is because they had to use their full name at the exhibition. So that was what was on the map. Copyright, it tells you there's system version, you close, and then service. Like there's an email for service. Who knew? I've never emailed them. I have always just been in the Facebook group, and they've been awesome. They've responded via the Facebook group or Messenger or WhatsApp. And now that I see that I have an email, I guess I may use that just for things that are not urgent, where I'm not really needing something to work immediately. I just kind of have a question. I may still do Messenger as I have the V22, because they're also super excited for me to post some of these videos so that you guys can get the first look, those who weren't able to get to the exhibition, and kind of watch me work my way through, using this V22. It's really nice. Like, I'm going to show you here as soon as I finish this. I'm going to show you what the whole thing looks like just by video. I know I'm going to get a ton of questions, right? But like I said, bear with me as I learn, and through my excitement, didn't ask all the questions I needed to ask, but over the few weeks, we'll get some answers, right? So they even have their Facebook page, which is absolutely nice, and their YouTube page on here. So that's a really nice addition. Okay, so that's your settings again here. So it's got patch here, not touching that yet, just because I still have the cap driver, and I'm not really sure what will happen when I do that, but tomorrow when I start stitching stuff, I will be videoing a lot, so you guys will be with me as it happens. They stitched this Star Wars logo out at the exhibition, and let me tell you, I am so happy that this is already dialed in for tension, because that thing was awesome. So let me go ahead and show you a little bit more of the machine itself. Just video so that everybody can kind of get to see it. I'll do some up close. That's my mirror sitting over there. Now, it's kind of lonely right now, but I will definitely be getting back to my mirror, right? Not giving that up for anything. All right, so here we go. This is the machine. This is the whole thing. It is significantly bigger than the mirror, but still super compact compared to some of the machines that I saw at the exhibition today. I would still choose Bai. I saw Tajima at their, super high price point, but I would still choose the Bai. It's really nice machine. And I hope you guys are not hearing my son screaming in the background as he plays his video games, because it is Friday night. So, all right, look. So here, right, for the threads, this is actually really nice. So I'll come around here and I'll show you what that looks like. So you no longer have to use that Allen key. Y'all saw the YouTube video, and that was really nice. Like it's tensioned. So you push it up, tighten it, you're done. Another thing that I thought was really nice is that they have put a felt pad for the entire thread tray. So before it only came with the little circles under there, and most people toss those, but this is a full felt pad under here. Another thing that I really liked, on my mirror right here, there was a screw that was raised up. So if I put a spool of thread that had a little wider base, I had to kind of shim something under there so it wouldn't catch on that screw. So what they've done is they've raised up everything, so you see the screws are kind of recessed, which is super nice. And then another thing they've also done, they've added the numbers. I hope you can see that. They've added the numbers of where your thread is, right? So that's 14. Before, I actually had to write that on there because I wasn't sure what was what. So it's nice that the numbers are on there. I will tell you, it's numbered a little differently than the mirror, right? So you saw I lifted that up. This is 15, just like it is on my mirror, right? If you're looking at it here, this is number 15, very back, right? So which would be my top left there. But over here, this is different. This is my number 1. On my mirror, this one is number 1 for me. So that's all right. It's just a little different. Threaded a little differently on the top, if you can see that. It's also numbered, which is nice. So really just bring that down, thread it, and then you put it right back up and tighten tension knob, like the tension knobs there, right? Then it's got this set of upper tension. The usual come through here. And then this, right? So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. There are generally 4 of these. They just happen to now be kind of knobs. And I'll show you. All right, see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Everybody's like, oh, there's so many more, but they're really not. So there's 4 here. Here's my mirror. All right, here's my mirror. Here's what my mirror looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all it was. Instead of just these wheels, now we have some knobs in places where knobs weren't. Okay. If you look here though, which is really nice, you start looking here, this is where we're getting some like extra thread breakage sensors, and all these are now like behind, right? So it's threaded very differently. So thread through here, through the back of here, comes through this sensor here, loops around twice, comes through another one, then 1, 2, 3, down here, 4, 5, 6, right in here, right? 7 points. And then when you get down here underneath, and I can't really show you that, but underneath, there's another tension thing, right? So if you look, when I pull this, look, see that thing come out? Before, you could just put a thread down here, it would just fall down. No longer. Now you've got to pull this forward, thread it through, let it go, and it's tensioned. Look at that. You can't just pull it out easily. Like, you really have to tug on that thing. So very nice. And that's all in the name of trying to maintain tension so that we're not having to, change it every 2 seconds and taking 10 years to get dialed in just right. Super awesome for anybody who is new to embroidery, new to Bai, whatever it is. It'll become a much easier event to control tension. So this is one of the things I don't think I ever noticed, and it may be on the old Visions. I did not realize that it actually had hooks for you to be able to lift this thing on a crane or engine hoist or whatever it is that you decided to put in there. They're on both sides. I never noticed that, but I didn't notice that today because of all the machines that I looked at that were this size, they all had them. All right. Some other cosmetic things that changed. Power button. Power button right here. So behind the console, right? And again, I told you console can move. Power button. E-stop. Of course, our handy dandy lubrication guide, which is nice. It's like very nicely attached here, and you know, it tells you once a month installed, blah blah blah, once 6 months, once 2 or 3 months, and it's a very nice diagram. Like you can follow this easily, right? I know people wanted to see this. Sorry, just on a mess of a house, but I'm too busy playing with my new embroidery machine to worry about that just yet. Okay, but here we go. So let's see some of the insides of this thing. And I'm sorry for the shaky video. I'm trying to not have to pause 50 times so that I can go sit, because I am in so much pain right now and sore for moving this thing. All right, so here we go. So a lot of people, when they first got their machine, oh my gosh, it doesn't have a bobbin cover. Where can I find that? Well, looky here. They have installed a bobbin cover. And guess what? You can't even lose it. It's attached. You literally just flip it down. It's there. You flip it back up. That's it. So for everybody who wanted a bobbin cover, there you go. It's red. Can't miss it. Doesn't go anywhere. All right. So one of the things that I asked about was the arm. Let me tell you. The arm is the same length. But I think, and I'm going to measure this tomorrow, but I think it's a little bit narrower right here, honestly. Still has the same needle plate that the Vision had. One of the things I noticed on the M22 was the M22 now has needle plates that are just like the Vision. So that's really awesome. Cap driver still on there, right? Hadn't taken that off yet. Like the stand, I am not sure if the stand is different. I really can't say because my first Vision, but I do know the stand on the mirror is different, and I'll post some pictures of that M22. I took some more pictures of that just because I knew I would have this at home to be able to show you. So there you go, guys. Just the beginning of my review of the V22. Like I said, I'll get it running tomorrow. But other than that, it's pretty awesome. If I get around to it tomorrow, after I run it, I will probably put on the table just so you can see what that looks like. All right. Hope you enjoyed.